I did a film with an absolute idiot of a co-star, and this human being was being so insecure and angry because this person couldn't get the scenes out. And I think I was so vulnerable and comfortable.
Ever wonder why Ryan Reynolds seems to be everywhere these days, yet somehow certain A-listers never want to work with him? Behind that charming smile and quick wit lies a story most fans have never heard. The man who brought Deadpool to life has collected quite a list of Hollywood enemies along the way, and today, we're exposing what's really happening behind the scenes. It started on the set of Safe House back in 2012. Denzel Washington, arguably one of the greatest actors of our generation, had an encounter with Reynolds that still echoes through Hollywood today. During filming, Reynolds was supposed to approach Denzel from behind and attempt to choke him with handcuffs. But something went wrong. Reynolds miscalculated, Denzel whipped around, and boom.
I did a movie with a guy who's a very serious actor named Denzel Washington.
He gave me a black eye as well.
Doesn't really like to rehearse a lot, just goes in there and just nails it. But you just get like 1 or 2 takes, that's it.
And I'm supposed to come up behind him and try to choke him with the handcuffs. So I reached up to put the handcuffs, and he whipped back at the same time.
Ooh.
Banged me in the eye.
Whoa, proper black eye.
I'm holding him. I know you get 1 take of this. He's going to give you everything, and then we're done. Suddenly I hear, "Come fly with me. Fly, let's fly away." And I hear one of the stunt guys go, "Whose phone is that?" The phone is, I'm tucked underneath, and I guess it hit that like Siri button or something.
Co-starring with Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
And he has been fulsome in his praise of you. He said working with Denzel was a sort of a lifetime dream, and he said you're just about the best actor going.
Reynolds ended up with a black eye. But that wasn't the worst part. During another take, Reynolds had his phone tucked underneath him. Suddenly, in the middle of an intense scene with Academy Award winner Denzel Washington, a voice rings out, "Come fly with me, fly, let's fly away." Reynolds' phone had activated Siri at the worst possible moment. Denzel's reaction? Whose phone was that? The set went silent. Later, when Denzel was asked about working with Reynolds in an interview, Reynolds had apparently praised him, saying Denzel was just about the best actor going, and that sometimes Reynolds would forget to act and just sit there watching Denzel perform. Denzel's response? He looked straight at the interviewer and said, "Oh, is that what it was? I just thought he was terrible." The comment sent shockwaves through Hollywood. While it was delivered with a smile, industry insiders knew. It was one of those jokes with a kernel of truth. Their filmmaking styles were completely incompatible. Denzel, known for nailing scenes in 1 or 2 perfect takes, versus Reynolds, who thrives on improvisation and multiple attempts. But Denzel wasn't the only one. Just this year, in March 2025, SNL's Colin Jost slipped in a dig so precise it couldn't be coincidental. During Weekend Update, Jost smirked while delivering what seemed like a political joke. Zelensky was asked to leave the White House, then he appeared on Fox News and said he thinks he can still salvage his relationship with President Trump, which is like Justin Baldoni saying, "I'd love to work with Blake again." The audience laughed.
Do a whole acting thing, and they tend to sort of make it all about them. I'm not naming names, but just actors in general.
5, he smirked and said,
Zelensky was asked to leave the White House. Then he appeared on Fox News and said he thinks he can still salvage his relationship with President Trump, which is like Justin Baldoni saying, "I'd love to work with Blake again."
Hollywood insiders caught what was really happening. Colin Jost is married to Scarlett Johansson, who was previously married to none other than Ryan Reynolds before their divorce in 2011. Johansson never speaks about Reynolds publicly, but Jost apparently doesn't mind taking shots. And this wasn't his only reference. Colin also made jokes about Ryan's famous comments regarding intimacy coordinators, comments that reportedly became part of Blake Lively's alleged issues with Justin Baldoni during the It Ends With Us production. Let's see what the categories really are. Matthew Perry. The beloved Friends star reportedly harbored decades of resentment toward Reynolds, believing the actor completely stole his sarcastic style for the show Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place back in 1998, effectively building Reynolds' entire career on Perry's comedic foundation. According to insider reports from June 2023, Matthew hadn't resolved his feelings about this for the last 25 years, and it bugged him so much that Ryan never even gave him a single mention. While Perry never confirmed this publicly before his passing in October 2023, and his memoir didn't address it directly, the resemblance between Chandler Bing's sarcastic delivery and Reynolds' early work is undeniable to many fans who've pointed it out online for years. Then came Gerard Butler's remarkably dismissive comment in September 2021. While promoting his film Cop Shop, Butler was asked about Reynolds and casually dropped, "I actually don't know what Free Guy is, and I don't watch Ryan Reynolds movies." This wasn't just any random jab. Free Guy was one of the biggest box office successes that year, earning $331 million worldwide. For Butler to claim he'd never even heard of it felt deliberate. Reynolds tried to flip the narrative online, joking, "Can you believe Gerard Butler doesn't know what Free Guy is?" while promoting a charity initiative. But Butler never backtracked, leaving the subtle dig hanging in the air. Interestingly, the original interview seems to have vanished from the internet, with some speculating that Reynolds' team worked quickly to bury it. Perhaps the most revealing comment came from someone who actually knows Reynolds personally, his neighbor, Martha Stewart. In November 2024, while appearing on Built Rewards' rent-free game show, Stewart didn't hold back. Ryan Reynolds is probably on the list just because he covers himself up in his movies and you don't see his face. But she didn't stop there. When pressed further, Stewart dropped the bombshell. You know something?
Probably on the list just because he covers himself up in his movies and you don't see his face. Ryan Reynolds, is he one of those? So something, he's not so funny in real life. Really? No, he's not so funny. He's very serious. I'm going to get in trouble. He's my neighbor.
He's not so funny in real life. No, he's not so funny. He's very serious. Then, realizing what she just revealed, she added, "I'm going to get in trouble. He's my neighbor." This wasn't just another celebrity taking a shot. This was someone who actually sees Reynolds away from cameras, scripts, and PR teams, someone who knows the real person behind the carefully crafted persona. Reynolds responded with his characteristic humor online. "I disagree with her, but I tried that once. The woman is unexpectedly spry. She really closed the gap after a mile or so." But Stewart's comments hit different. After all, this is the man whose entire brand is built on being the funniest guy in the room. It's not just about the jokes either. On the set of Netflix's big-budget film Red Notice in 2021, tensions reportedly boiled over between Reynolds and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Sources told the Daily Mail in April 2024 that Reynolds had finally had enough of Johnson consistently showing up late to set, sometimes very late, and confronted him directly. Witnesses described it as a heated exchange between two of Hollywood's biggest stars. While they professionally patch things up for the cameras, insiders claim there's still tension whenever they're in the same room. The movie went on to become one of Netflix's most-watched films ever, but behind that success was a clash of egos that nearly derailed the production. The final blow came from filmmaking legend Quentin Tarantino. In May 2023, during an interview with Deadline, Tarantino didn't just criticize Reynolds, he questioned his entire relevance. Apparently for Netflix, Ryan Reynolds has made $50 million on this movie, and $50 million on that movie, and $50 million on the next movie for them, Tarantino said. Then came the knockout punch. "I don't know what any of those movies are. I've never seen them. Have you?" He was referring to Netflix hits like Six Underground, Red Notice, and The Adam Project, films that collectively earned Reynolds hundreds of millions in paychecks. Yet Tarantino spoke as if they barely existed at all. What makes this particularly striking is that Tarantino specifically named Reynolds, not Chris Hemsworth, not Tom Holland, but Ryan Reynolds, as the face of forgettable streaming content. Fans debated the comments online, with some defending Reynolds' massive viewership numbers, while others acknowledged Tarantino's point about the fleeting cultural impact of streaming films compared to theatrical releases. Reynolds uncharacteristically didn't respond publicly to Tarantino's dismissal. Perhaps some criticisms hit too close to home to joke about. So, what does all this tell us about Ryan Reynolds? The man who's built an empire on being likable seems to have collected quite a list of Hollywood detractors along the way.